Hey everyone, this is Daren with Madcap Toys. I'm glad to be with you today. Hopefully you enjoy today's episode. We're going to be doing another Building Your Plastic Army Men collection. Now these miniatures here are going to be about an inch to inch and a half, 2 inches large, depending on where you get them and what company you buy them from. These I think are basically Armies in plastic. I can't remember, honest with you, but they're from the huge lot of plastic army men that I've recently acquired. Well, recently, last 2 years, I'll say it that way. But I've recently been allowed to start putting them on, is what I'll say. Do it that way. But anyway, I want to thank Doug for that purchase that he let me buy from him, and for all his help with the Army Men gaming that we do and everything else. We fight with Doug sometimes in miniature battles. Now, this group here is going to be basically the Army Men from the Confederate, Yankee, Civil War, Union. So you've got the Confederates, the Southerners, and the Yankees, the Union, that are going to be in this grouping. Now I'm going to show you, it's a rather large grouping. All right, let's look at this. All right, see if you see them right there. Big old massive Army Men. I did not take the time today to put them together and to put them in a battle scene or anything like that, because I basically wanted you to see that you can acquire quite a bit of armies. Now, most of the groups boxes you buy are not going to be anywhere but 20 to 50, sometimes 75, maybe once in a while more. The army groupings that you can get, the basic plastic green or tan army men. A lot of times you can get those in hundreds or thousands. But I've also got some of these little guys here that I want to show you. This is the displays that they'll come in, the modes, right? And again, this is going to be basically for both of them, the Union and the Confederates, right? They'll either be in the blue or the gray. Now, I'm colorblind, so I have to trust the guys that are a tad darker are Union soldiers. So if not, guys, forgive me, but I can't hardly see them as far as the color differential, and it gets worse a little bit every year. But you guys can see the big pile that should, like I said, be about 381 men. This took a lot of groupings here to get this many together. Like I said, I think average is 25, 50, 100, something of that nature, but not this many. All right, you've got basically this guy here. Soldier looks like he's about ready to go into combat, doesn't know quite what to do. You will also have a soldier that is in a knee or kneeled position, and there's a couple slight variants. Some have the bayonet, some do not, and he's taking aim, whether Union or Confederate, and they'll shoot at their opponents. You have, sadly, as with any battle, you cannot have a war without, sadly, casualties. This is what this gentleman was. His shot while probably double quick charging towards the enemy lines, and you get that for both units. And again, remember, both units will have various types of these figures in their various color. Okay, this guy here, I just dropped him, great, but anyway, he was prone, but he's in a crawl stance. So you're going to have that in both the Union and Confederate as usual. This guy here, in this instance, is preparing to bayonet somebody that's fallen down or maybe in a prone state, firing at whichever side he is not on. You also have, in this instance, the Confederate, due to his hat. You can see that he's getting ready to get his musket and his patch so he can load it and shoot and fire off at his enemy, getting ready to take aim, but not quite loaded yet, or reloading, perhaps. You've got a charging soldier right here. I'm trying to move my hands, guy. I'm so sorry about this. You can see right there. I want to get him to where you can see him as best you can without my big fingers in the way. Basically charging at the enemy. Sometimes, again, you'll have a variant. Some have the bayonet, so they can go in and do one-on-one combat, personal hand-to-hand combat. Others do not have that. Then let me see here. Let me get this. Right now, this guy, again, like I said, he is basically standing firm, and he's holding, and either he could be behind cover, a stick, a bush, a fence, a wall, even possibly behind a building. He can either be used as a sniper or as a line of men that take up and fire at their enemy. You also will receive, when you get these collections, when you buy collections like this. Now, this collection's in mine, and I use these, like I said, for miniature battles, and probably eventually, when we get going on it, stop motion videos to illustrate, you know, the ways they work. He is basically in a marching formation. You get several of those as well. You also get a guy that's in what a lot of guys will call the double quick position. Basically means they're not marching. If I can get my thumb out of the way, I'm so sorry, guys. But they're not really quite running. They're sort of jogging, and they're going twice as fast as marching, but not near as fast as if you're running and charging. You can see he's not charging. He doesn't have a bayonet on it or nothing of that nature. He is just jogging to his position a little quicker to avoid enemy sight or them catching their movements or whatever the case is. Also, here you go. You will get several, again, various ones for the Union and for the Confederates, commanders, generals, officers, whatever. You're also going to have units included that are going to be what you would call banner wavers or holders. Guys that carry the flag, whether that's a company or unit flag or the flag of Old Glory or the cross and bars. You're also going to get units like this, especially with the Confederates. Basically saying, hey, you all, we're over here. Shoot the guy over there. He's blasting his gun at us. Of course, you'll have a few in the Unions as well. A little different look, though. You also get guys in their prone position, basically on their bellies, that you can use, again, for snipers, ambush soldiers, etc. You will also receive some horses. In some units, again, you'll have gray or black or whatever. Depends on the variant and the grouping you purchase. Then you're also going to have your cavalrymen. They'll have a few different looks, but this is a basic idea. They will ride said horses. But you're going to basically be able to, like, find in here various ones that I did not show. You'll have guys at attention, standing up and be taking orders from their commander, for instance, that's given last minute orders and directions to his soldiers. You'll also have gentlemen with guns and swords. In other words, the enemy's army has broke through the lines, and this guy is pulling out his handgun, going to fire all that as quick as he can and at as many as he can. But last ditch effort, if all else fails, he pulls his sword, dagger, and he's going to try to hold him off there. You may find other variants in here. I haven't found all of them. And again, you know, I don't sit there and, you know, claim to be a perfect expert on every one of these soldiers. We just use them as we use them. My last time of using these guys, for instance, I think was several years ago when we was at a shop, and we basically were holding, you know, a city center with them. We tried to make a little barricade and held. Well, it worked for a while, and then we had to fall back to another place. It's usually what happens. Nothing survives the first minute of contact, even in games. You think you got a great plan, and sure enough, guess what? The dice go code on you or something. Right? Some of you guys out there may know what I'm talking about. Now, like I said, there are several other channels out there, guys, that have great videos about, you gaming and all that, and they'll deal with different styles and stuff of Army men. We basically use a lot of these things because they're cheap and you can do it on a budget. Okay, there you got your bugler. But this is basically for the mom and pop that's looking for something to do with their kids. I know we're still not as much locked down as it was, but you know, there's a lot of people still worried about things. So, you know, just go and have fun. But you can get these on average, I think, like I said, guys, I'm not trying to mislead you, it's been a while, but I want to say you're going to be looking at anywhere from, on average, for anywhere from 50 to 120 some or something of that nature, at about $6.99 or $8 to $9 and change. You're going to look, if you find a bigger box of them, they're going to be 10 to 12 or so. But I don't believe you can find anything like 300 volume sets. I believe about 120 or so to 150 is going to be the best you can get. So this is more than one box. And in fact, I think this is about 4 boxes, counting all that you see here for this grouping. But guys, you can have a lot of fun. You can make up rules. There's rules that you can download on the internet or purchase for a little bit of nothing. And I would encourage you to purchase it, because the guys that made up rules, like if I ever put out a set of rules that I use with my kids or grandkids or Doug or whatever, if we ever get back to playing full time again, or some of the other guys, then yeah, the guys that made up the rules, unless you've got your own and you evolve those rules to fit, or the company you purchase the rules from, they deserve the money, because it's helping them to be able to develop more games and fun things for you and I to do as time goes along. All right, guys, I want to thank you so much for spending your time with me. This is another how to build your Army men. The Union and Confederate soldiers have joined us today, and I hope to see you again soon. You guys have a great and wonderful day. All right, bye-bye, guys.